International relations. The first topic is Indus Water Treaty. So, the Indus Water Treaty was signed between India and Pakistan in 1960, and World Bank is the guarantor of uh, the Indus Water Treaty. So, India's intention to sign this treaty was to assure protection to Pakistan. So, this treaty was one of the most successful treaties in the world. The Indus water system consists of six rivers: Ravi, Beas, Sutlej, Chenab, Jhelum, and Indus. Look at this map over here. So, these six rivers are divided into two parts. One is eastern rivers and the other is western rivers. The eastern rivers are Ravi, Beas, and Sutlej. The western rivers are Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. So the eastern rivers have, that is Ravi, Beas, Sutlej, have only 20% of water, while the western rivers have 80% of Indus river water. So the most important point over here is the eastern river water are fully allocated to India, which is of 20%, while the western river water are allocated to Pakistan, and India can use some amount of water for agricultural use and other non-consumable purposes from this western rivers. So, India has initiated Kishan Ganga hydroelectricity project on the tributary of Jhelum. Okay, on the tributary of Jhelum, sorry, on the river Jhelum, Kishan Ganga hydroelectric project was initiated in 2016 and was inaugurated at 2018, and it was further stopped by the Pakistan by filing a case on the court of arbitration. So we'll see about that in the next phase. So now, on the other hand, India also initiated Ratle Dam on the river, on the Chenab river. Okay, so Pakistan complained about building of these hydroelectric plants to court of arbitration and asked to look over the designs of the two hydroelectric power projects. So India has also asked the court of arbitration to consider those projects, and for that purpose further asked to appoint neutral expert. So India also said that its only purpose is to build the plants for generating electricity. So these were all happened in the year 2018, and now recently the World Bank has appointed the neutral expert which India asked in the previous year to appoint, so that this treaty problems can be solved. And the chairman of court of arbitration was also appointed to check on the issues of the power plant. So remember here, World Bank acts as an intermediary between India and Pakistan. Now look at the box over here. Here we can see the Permanent Indus Commission. So we need to know about this Permanent Indus Commission. So this is a commission which was established for the Indus Water Treaty. So under this, the commissioners were appointed by both the countries to exchange information on the use of rivers, and they meet once in a year alternately in Pakistan or India. So there are three dispute resolution step mechanisms under the Indus Water Treaty. The first step is the questions regarding the treaty will be handled first by the commissioners, by both the commissioners. And next, if the questions are not resolved, then the neutral expert, that is NE, who is appointed by the World Bank, have to solve these issues. Then, even then the disputes are not cleared, then court of arbitration, which consists of the 7 members of arbitrary tribunal, is appointed to deal with the disputes. So these are all the 3-step dispute resolution mechanisms. And now coming to the issues which are faced by the Indus Water Treaty are: the first major dissatisfaction of India is regarding this treaty. Over 80% of Indus water is allocated to Pakistan. The western rivers have almost 80% of water compared to eastern rivers, which is only 20%. And this is unfair. So, India is totally disappointed upon this issue. The next is the western rivers like Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab flow in the conflicted region of Jammu and Kashmir. The Kishan Ganga hydroelectricity project and Ratle hydroelectric project are constructed in these regions. So this is one of the reason for the Pakistan to raise concerns over the project. See here, we have to not use the western water for consumption, and even for our own rivers also, which is originated in Jammu and Kashmir, we have to not construct dams. So these are some of the issues which totally disappointed India. So for these reasons only, India also asked for neutral expert to be appointed in the court of arbitration so that all these issues can be solved, and both Pakistan and India will be getting equality of justice. So equal justice. Okay. So the third is lack of mutual trust. So, fearing India will take control over the western rivers, high troops are present on the eastern front of Pakistan. So, they don't trust at all, and many troops are being placed at the border, the eastern border of Pakistan. And the next is the treaty lacks guidelines to address the issues related to environmental concerns. And we can also see that the Sutlej River project, the Indus Basin is one of the world's most overstressed aquifers. So they lack guidelines to address the issues related to the environmental concerns, and there is a limited role for a guarantor to address the concerns. So, who is a guarantor over here? It is the World Bank. So, to address the concerns, the World Bank is playing a very limited role. Next, reforms needed to make Indian Water Treaty more effective is first is to approve United Nations Water Convention to ensure sustainable use of transboundary water resources, and by promoting open data policy to international supervisory bodies for transparency and other scientific research, the Indus Water Treaty can be more effective. And India should ensure full utilization of accessible water of rivers by repairing the canal system and launch new projects like Uj and Sapur Kandi projects on Ravi River. So we have the eastern rivers, which is Ravi, Bias. So we have the eastern rivers, which are Ravi, Bias, and also Sutlej. So these should be fully utilized. We should build more projects on this, and we have to use it with 100% efficiency. So, and the other is both countries should also take joint research on rivers to study impact on the climate change and for future cooperation between them. So these are the reforms which need to be done. And look at this box. Look at this figure over here. The provisions of climate proofing the treaty. First is both countries should not allow the rivers to die by not fully utilizing them. Next is flexible water allocation strategies should be applied for the high and low seasons. Flood and drought control mechanism should be implemented, and setting up a list of climate induced water threats to craft shared responses. So all these are some of the provisions of climate proofing the treaty.